The cannabis space has been wheeling and dealing in the last few months with another major partnership in the industry today. Check out shares of Tilray soaring 16% after announcing a deal with pharma company Novartis, the first major partnership between a big cannabis company and big pharma. Tilray CEO Brendan Kennedy explained what it means for Tilray on Power Lunch earlier today.
When I started in this industry 8 years ago, there were 15 countries in the world that had legalized medical cannabis. Today, there are more than 35. It's really clear to me that we go from 35 to 40 to 50, 60 countries around the world in the next 24 to 36 months. And so this, this agreement enables us to use the Sandoz supply chain and sales force and distribution network to ensure that we can enter new markets globally at a much faster pace.
Sandoz, by the way, is a unit of Novartis. Now, Tim here is our resident cannabis king. He's long a number of names, sits on advisory boards for cannabis stocks. You can check out all the disclosures on our website. Meantime, what does this mean? And it's interesting that the other ones were making deals with CPG or consumer product companies,
right.
and Tilray is going after medical.
Yeah, let's face it. When people talk about the verticals that cannabis is disrupting massively, certainly pharma is one of them. And so Novartis, through Sandoz, is a global player. This is very different than a CPG play. This is actually using distribution, co-branding, possibly developing new products. And if there's an international company out there, it's a drug company. Let's face it. They have to operate in different jurisdictions where they have to have the compliance and the regulatory framework down, and certainly this is the right kind of a partner for a company. If Tilray's been differentiating themselves anyway, in any particular way, it's been a global footprint and a company that's actually been focused a little bit less on this. By the way, this deal goes straight into Canada. It will help these guys right away get a leadership, at least with the direct-to-market consumer and the online, so good for them.
By the way, when I was talking to Brendan, he also talked about all the markets that still have yet to come online in terms of legalization. They recently put on an advisory board, the former DNC chair, the former RNC chair, and a couple of ministers from Germany and Australia. So they're really ramping up in terms of the lobbying.
But I still wonder about cannabis. I think the future is bright. I'm long Canopy. I'm long Kronos. So I do think that you're going to get the ability for a longer-term trade in this. But if you still look back to that legalization date in Canada, all these stocks have peaked. So I think they're fluffed with a lot of the energy. So you sort of need a little bit of reality to set in before they
coincided with the market downturn, though. I mean, to be fair.
Yes, to a certain extent. And I do think that you can match up the Bitcoin buyer. I know that you disagree with me on this, Tim. I think the Bitcoin buyer versus the cannabis guys, I think that it's the alternate investment. So yes, it's simultaneous with the market selling off as well.